All right. What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, and on the phone, we got Giuliano of Semblant. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's Giuliano and Sergio also here.
Oh, yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well. So, I really enjoyed Obscura, your latest record. Do you just want to talk about like how the making of this record was, the recording, and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, for sure. It was, it took us a bit of time to make this record. Actually, our previous record was recorded and released in 2014, so it's been quite a long time.
Yeah.
We had a lot of things happening with the band. We had videos with millions of views. We signed a contract for that record, and all those sorts of things, which were great, But at the same time, we had a lot of other things going on, in the band and in our personal lives that kind of made it a bit difficult to make this new record, So it took us a long time to finally get in the right space and the right mind frame to do it,
Yeah, the music business and the music market messed up a lot with us because we have some disappointments with record labels, with booking agents, a tour on the US that never happened, problems on our personal lives, and everything reflected on the lyrics and on the compositions for this new album. And Obscura is the title who reflects exactly all these things we're speaking to you. We're telling you.
Yep. It's also a great technical death metal band, so I was expecting a lot of brutality just by looking at the title.
I don't know if you found that much brutality, but...
Well, I thought the bonus track, Insomnia, really had some brutality in it, and I loved Murder of Crows. I thought that was a great way to, introduce the record. I see so many elements in the band, and, having elements of, melodic death metal and symphonic metal, it's always fair to say you guys like to experiment with your sound as much as possible, right?
Yeah, we don't like to be stuck in a kind of a label, We don't want that for the band. We always try to bring new influences and new ideas and how we can explore more the diversity in metal, What can we do in metal that we haven't done before? So that's always the goal.
And the things we lived in the last years reflected on a introspective album. Clean vocals, melodies equally than the death metal thing.
Yeah, being that it took such a long time though for the making of Obscura, did it almost kind of in a way feel like a fresh start and not just continuing on and just going through the motions a little bit? It had to have been like maybe you approached the making of this record with a bit of a clean slate, right?
Yeah, definitely. Especially because not only we had to restructure the band, in all this process, because one of our guitar players left the band. We had a bass player joining the band as well, so we had a lineup changes, and we really had to work really hard to make the band complete again, to make everybody on the same page, wanting to make music again. It kind of demanded a bit of us, so.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a fresh start.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like it.
Yeah, I've noticed because we talked about the many different styles that are incorporated in here, but when you I've always thought there was some different emotions incorporated in here. Mere Shadow is very different from a song like Porcelain, which is very different from Wasteland or something like that. So I think there was many different emotions that were kind of felt in the recording process of this, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the thing I was talking about, because we want to show all states of mind and states of spirits we lived in this period between Lunar Manifesto and Obscura. And just a melodic death metal couldn't do it. We need to create a lot of introspective songs, more kind of gothic or doom metal songs, but with our identity, still with our identity.
Mm-hmm. Was there any improvising at all with the making of it, or did you have like a preconceived idea that was developed before writing?
You know, particularly, I had a few ideas that I wanted to incorporate on this record. I wanted it to be more straightforward, you know. I think it's a bit more raw than Lunar Manifesto, and that was definitely intentional. And the other thing that was really important for me, writing the songs and everything, it was that I wanted both Sergio and Mizuho to have a stronger performance on this record. You know, work really hard on what they're doing, focus really hard on strong melodies for choruses and everything like that, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think that was definitely an idea.
Yeah, but in my opinion, it still sounds a lot of organic.
Yeah.
Different than Lunar Manifesto. We have a lot of vocal production over there, and in Obscura, you will listen to vocals. You definitely will listen to alive too.
Yeah. Is there ever a time where maybe like the vocals and the lyricism could determine the music itself, or do you always have to lay down music before any lyrics or even any stories come into play?
Well, I think each one of the songs of oral albums have their own interpretation, song by song. We really feel what we're singing. We lived what we are singing. So even if Giuliano write a song, we try to put this feeling in our personal experiences to reflect with truth, right? It's terrible, in my opinion, when some bands sing or play some songs just doing a theater. We are extremely sincere when we're singing, when we're playing. We really feel that, we really write true things that's happening or inspiring us.
Mm-hmm. So it's
but most of the time, I think the lyrics determine where we're going. Right?
Of course, totally.
Yeah, and it's not like you're like writing about something like a fantasy or something. That what you're investing into the lyricism and in the music is like who you are truly. It's not like you're looking outside of yourself too much, right?
You know, it really isn't. It isn't really clear, you know, because it's different from each writer's perspective. You know, my songs, I think, go towards the direction of our emotions and everything that we're going through. But Sergio's lyrics, you know, he brought a lot of more of that fantasy side.
Yeah, but the fountain is the same. All the fantasy stuff I write, and I wrote for the last album, is based on my escape plan from dure and complicated reality. My safe house for the last years was create and imagine a lot. Return to my movies influences, literature, and create too. Now we've been writing a lot. So Giuliano kept his focus on the deep and personal emotions, and my focus was pure fantasy and imagination.
Mm-hmm.
As escape plan to the reality we're living.
That's really awesome. If somebody were to maybe if you guys were to take the vocals out of the music completely and then just left it with the instrumentals, it almost seems like the instrumentals could also determine what the subject matter is about in a way too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can definitely feel that.
Yeah, yeah. Which don't do that. I really do like the vocals as
Oh,
incorporated.
okay.
Yeah.
We also do.
Yeah.
I
Now,
don't see us. To be honest, I don't see us making an instrumental track.
Maybe in the future, but it doesn't make any sense now on our present moment.
yeah. You know, when I was reviewing the record, I was really intrigued because I know Insomnia, I believe, is like a bonus track on the album, but Daydream Tragedy is, I guess, technically the last track. And I find it so unique on how, like, if you listen to Daydream Tragedy as the last track, it really ends the record on a completely, like, different note, like the whole album, more so than Insomnia. Like, I was, like, in terms of like the different styles that you incorporated, if you're playing like a more slow song or a more melancholy song versus a song that's constantly brutal, is maybe the energy that you channel into there different as well?
You know, it's hard to say because, you know, the fact, the reason why Insomnia is the bonus track for us is basically because we didn't feel that song connected that well with the rest of the record. You know, it's a really different song. It has a different feel, which didn't really connect with everything else. You know, and that's why we recorded the song and we were thinking, what the hell are we going to do with it?
Well, and in our opinion, Daydream Tragedy ends the record by a perfect way because this track reflects all the drama that formed Obscura, that makes Obscura alive. So Obscura, in my opinion, of course, is our more introspective record until now. So we prefer to make you introspective than, whoa, what a heavy track, damn. These guys are shaking the ground. No, calm down.
Yeah.
Think about it, deep feelings, that's the spirit.
And it's nice because Daydream Tragedy is actually a really different track as well for the band, you know.
Definitely.
It's really atmospheric and all of those things that the band never really had before. So I think it's a nice touch, you know, to end like that.
Yeah, way to push boundaries.
Yeah, it's totally.
Yeah, and I mean, Insomnia, though, you know, you didn't know what to do with it. You ever worried, like, I'm glad you included it as a bonus track. You never know if that unreleased track could just end up being one of the biggest hits you'll ever have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I have two more questions for you, but you know, I have yet to see Semblant live. I really hope you all come to the U.S. very soon. But is there maybe a similar energy that you put into your live presence as you do when you're songwriting, or is playing live a completely separate art than simply just recording and, you know, creating music?
I don't think it's anything different. It's an extension, you know, of what we did in the studio and everything else. We really want to, especially now with Obscura, we really want to make the best concert ever for us, you know, really bring all this atmosphere to the crowd, and we really hope we can go to the US as well.
Yeah, actually we're negotiating something for the second semester, maybe.
You never know.
It's just a chance now, but we're doing our best.
Yeah, we're waiting for you here. We're waiting for you.
Oh, we can wait. You know, you have no idea how much we want to be there.
Yeah.
We had a lot of trouble. You know, we had 2 U.S. tours canceled during the Lunar Manifesto era, and now is the time to make it happen. Finally, you know.
Definitely. And the final question I wanted to ask you is, coming from Brazil, are you guys from Rio, Belo Horizonte? Like, where in Brazil are you guys currently located in?
We are from Curitiba. It's in the south of Brazil. It's nearer to São Paulo than those other cities, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an uncommon weather here because it's summer in Brazil now, and all people over there maybe think that, oh, summer in Brazil is boiling hot. A Yes, a lot of sunny days, and no, our city is the coldest capital in Brazil. Really, we're living winter days for the Brazilian perspective in the summer.
That's insane. That's insane. You know, I've interviewed a lot of bands actually from Brazil. Like I've interviewed Max Cavalera multiple times. You know, I've interviewed the other guys in Sepultura. I've interviewed Chrisian. Is there like a metal scene, especially within your area, that you guys are currently active in Brazil, or is it a little bit different? Do you have to kind of go outside your area of Brazil in order to, you know, spread the name of Semblant?
No, we have a great scenario on our hometown because Curitiba is a city with 2 million people. So it's a huge city, and we have a great scenario. I own a metal club on our city called Blood Rock Bar in the last 10 years, and we receive a lot of underground bands and bands from Brazil and all areas. So we have a great connected scenario between the bands here. Death metal bands, black metal bands, melodic death metal bands, stoner metal bands, traditional heavy metal, and all the genres and subgenres.
Yeah, it's not as strong as it is in São Paulo or other places, but it's quite strong.
Yeah, we have
quite a good scene.
Yeah, we have a great scene.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was, you know, I've heard like, you know, Max Cavalera actually said like, you know, there's a great environment or a great atmosphere for metal and hardcore and punk to really launch from Brazil.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep. So before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for your time. Is there just any shows coming up to support the release of Obscura that you would like to promote, or, you know, any possible tours in the works that you're allowed to say? This will be uploaded by midnight, so, you know, don't say it if it hasn't been announced yet.
We're actually preparing ourselves for our first European tour right now. Mm-hmm. You know, we
have 18 concerts.
Yeah.
In April, maybe 10 or 11 countries. We are trying to think a little bit better about Italy because we have this thing of coronavirus haunting some metal bands tours. But of course, we will do 10 countries and 18 concerts in April.
Oh, awesome! Well,
that's what we have announced so far.
Yeah,
but we're definitely working on, you know, making a lot more concerts here in Brazil, but we also the plan for the rest of the year and beginning of next year is definitely an US tour. Hopefully it will happen this time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you'll hit New York.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely the idea, my
priority.
Thank you. Everybody, we are here with Semblant Obscura coming out March 6th. Be sure to pick that up. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.